Dear students, I am Samuel Masigil. Welcome you to online classes of English for class 9th. Today we are going to deal with the first chapter, The Fun They Had, written by Isaac Asimov. Before we move to the chapter, let's know something about the author. Isaac Asimov was born on 2nd January 1920 in the Petrovichi, Russia. He immigrated with his family to the United States and became a biochemistry professor while pursuing writing. He published his first novel, Pebble in the Sky, in 1950. An immensely prolific author who penned nearly 500 books. He published influential scientific works like I, Robert and the Foundation trilogy, as well as books on variety of other genres. He died in New York City on 6th April 1992. Isaac Asimov was also known for writing books on a wide variety of subjects outside of science fiction, taking on the topics like astronomy, biology, mathematics, religion, and literary biography. A small sample of notable titles include The Human Body, written in 1963, Asimov's Guide to the Bible in 1969, The Mystery Murder at the ABA in 1976, and his 1979 autobiography, In Memory Yet Green. So when we talk about this particular chapter, the fun they had, let's know what would be our previous knowledge, the previous knowledge we have about the chapter. We all know we are students and we go to school, but what kind of school would you want to have in future? How much will the computer be involved in future education? Will you feel more happy in a more developed high-tech society? Why or why not? That is what we need to explore when we move further in this particular chapter. So when we introduce this particular story, we know Isaac, it depicts a social school system which is independent of human teacher and based on technical advanced. That's what we are having these days, being in a virtual classroom. It sometimes creates a lot of fun. The main advantage is the individual teaching, which can train the personal talents. In this system, there are no human mistakes, and it is a perfect way to give every child the same knowledge and information. But there are some disadvantages too. Human peoples do not learn like a computer. There's a difference between human and computer. And I think learning has to be a kind of fun. Otherwise, the probability of forgetting is higher. Studies have come to the result that you can learn things better if you have fun while you are learning. For example, we do enjoy doing the things which makes us happy. On the other, which doesn't. Many often you might have heard number of students complaining regarding the mathematics. because it doesn't make them happy. But all those who are very good, those who have enjoyed it, those who enjoy or have fun doing mathematics will be the good students to know mathematics more. The another disadvantage is that there are no social relationship like at school today. And during this lockdown, most of you might be missing the school. School not as a building, but your friends, your teachers, the other acquaintance in the school. The system you used to follow, starting with getting up to going to school and following a particular schedule of the day. If a child lives in a neighborhood with no other children, it is alone and has no social relationship with other children. Learning with friends at school can be a motivation. It gives a healthy competition. At schools today, the pupils improve their communications and their behavior in the group. What others are doing, we do try to do be like that. In Asimov's future vision, there are no human teachers who can give moral values to the children. Giving moral value is the duty of their parents because mechanical teacher cannot give moral values. Mechanical teachers can only give you knowledge. Therefore, today in this particular mode of teaching, I just wanted to make you feel how a class without teacher would be looking like. This story is set up in the year 2157 year. We are in the 2020, number of years ahead of our present time. The 13-year-old Tommy finds an old book. He and Margie, who is 11 years of age, find it strange that the words on paper do not move after having been read, as we read in the screen and the words move. Nowadays, they only read stories on computer screen. The book is about school centuries ago. Margie is very surprised that in the past pupils had a person as a teacher. Very interesting. A person as a teacher. And that all children of the same age learnt the same thing and went to a schoolhouse with other children. Margie wants to read more of the books. But first she has to learn with her machine teacher, whose level is too advanced for her. And she thinks school in those days was much better than today. Today in the sense 2157 century, or maybe possibly the year. School in the future will be very bad. School nowadays is very good and the peoples have much fun. For example, in the line 18, Margie says, I hate school. And in the last two lines, there is written, Margie was thinking about how the kids must have loved it in the old days. I also think that school nowadays is better than in the story, which is set number of years ahead of our time. In the future, in the school as described by Asimov, the social aspect is lost. There are no forms anymore. Everybody sits in front of his computer as we are sitting right now. The peoples cannot learn together because every child learns different things. But school today is not as good and funny as Margie thinks. Almost nobody today would say that he likes school. And there are many problems like forms with too many peoples. But I think